Reason to question it. Believers don't think. Because they believe. Man, oh man. Once you don't believe shit anymore, you really start thinking a lot.
Blue Marble 2.0. NASA's Rob Simon made this. And it had wide appeal too. For example, it ended up as the default background on the iPhone.
I didn't even know until I bought an iPhone and turned it on and kind of did a little happy dance.
Simon's job is...
It's primarily taking data and making pictures out of it.
That's what this is. A composite of data sets from several different instruments translated into a picture.
Huh. How about just picture with a camera? You ever thought of that?
To us, the really cool thing was the data set. Up until that point, there was no realistic color map of the globe anywhere.
So the land layer here comes from
the Moderate Resolution Imaging Spectroradiometer aboard Terra.
And the tricky part here was the weather.
So we actually had to take clouds out.
They stashed the clouds for later, went onto the ocean. That came from an instrument that measures phytoplankton in the sea.
Where it was low, I colored it dark blue because they're low mostly in mid-oceans. And then where it was a little bit higher, it was like a little bit brighter green.
Then add the clouds back in.
There's a small problem with it because there's a very slight gap in between each orbit.
So some of those are painted on.
It is photoshopped, but it's has to be.
Then
there was another layer to sort of simulate the atmosphere.
And then there's this little bright spot.
It's called the specular highlight. So it's the reflection of sunlight off of water.
Those are the pieces, but you can't just slap them all together.
It just didn't look realistic. It looks kind of flat, or the clouds are sort of too see-through. So I just hit Command Z a lot.
There's artistry to creating the world.
What I imagine it to be. Unfortunately, I'm not an astronaut. I've never been to space.
Yeah, they're fucking liars. All they do is lie. Anyhow, it'd be real easy to prove to me that we live on a spinning wet rock with curving water. And the good news is the technology exists right now to do it. Air Force One is a modified 747-200 with aerial refueling capabilities. They lie to us and tell us the circumference is 24,901 miles. Average speed of a 747 is 549 miles an hour. All you gotta do to prove to me that we're on a fucking ball is fly in a straight line for 45 hours and come back to the same point you started. Yeah, it's a piece of cake.
Fly. Straight line. 45 hours.
In a modified aircraft with air refueling capabilities.
Fly. Straight line. End up where you started.
Well, I got a feeling.
Piece of cake.
If you flew in a straight line for 45 fucking hours, you ain't gonna be back where you started.
It's easy to prove.
Are you a believer?
Listen very carefully. Hear the slap.
Didn't you get the email?
What's an email?
It's a computer thing, like an electric letter.
Or a quiet phone call?
I don't have a computer. Too bad. That's why you're at work while we're living it up on our day off. Hey, Carl, turn up the car radio. Why not? Anything goes today.
Dr. DeGrassi Tyson, I asked Dr. Steven Weinberg once.
Yeah.
Once you go flat, there's no going back. The plan of attack is stick to the facts. I'm forcing the fall when we give up the fall and prove that the earth isn't moving at all. So it's time to commit, put an end to the shit. Draw lines in the sand, take signs to the dam of the minds that begin. Show lines from the. Once you go flat, there's no going back. The plan of attack is stick to the facts. I'm forcing the fall when we give up the fall. Man, realize that the plan.
I understand you flew here from Sacramento, so were you able to confirm that the Earth is flat on that airplane?
It did look flat out of my window.